Candace, you are a Tar Heel, so what can we expect from Locked On Tar Heels, especially as we get into the ACC tournament? What you got going on?
Yeah, most importantly, you can expect authenticity. We try to give you the real, not too hardcore analysis. I think we just kind of have fun here at Locked On Tar Heels. It's really important just to not make it too intense, especially with the current climate. If one thing we can do is enjoy just talking about Carolina basketball, some sense of normalcy. So that's pretty much the day in and day out of all of the content. But more importantly, we just get to get mad at the team on certain days and get really hyped on the team on other days because they are so inconsistent, which has been a wild time, right? So I don't know which Tar Heels I'm going to get. I'm going to get a team that can put up 91 against Duke, or I'm going to get a team that can put up 48 against Clemson. You just never know.
I was going to ask you that. Like, when Carolina is good, why are they good? When they're bad, why are they bad? And as we sit here right before the ACC tournament, where are they on that spectrum?
Yeah, when they're great, they are playing complete basketball. They are learning how to facilitate well. The guards are playing well. They're assisting as best as they can. They're allowing our shooters to shoot outside. Kerwin Walton, sometimes he'll go and shoot threes like it's his best friend. Sometimes he'll go 0 for 7. So you just never know, right? We're working with freshmen. So we're giving a lot of grace this season, unfortunately. But we also had an ACC preseason player of the year who we thought was going to have a monster year. Unfortunately, again, it's all about adjustments. So we are just working with a team that is going to either face Notre Dame or Wake Forest, and they are going to have to bring their A game because everybody's hungry in the ACC tournament. Everyone knows this year it's anybody's game.
So this season has not been like Tar Heels-esque. It has not been like yes, this team is a Final Four team. But last year's season kind of gets washed away a little bit. I mean, it was not good. So how does this team kind of compare to that? They are better, aren't they?
Absolutely. So we've had a lot of close matchups that actually went our way this season as opposed to last season. Thankfully, we didn't get an NCAA tournament not to get invited to last year. So that was nice not to have to go through that. But I think this team this year has a different kind of hunger. They don't take themselves out of games. Even being down double-digit deficits, they're kind of not mentally defeated. So I think that's the biggest difference that you see, rallying around, just making one play at a time and ultimately getting the courage or the confidence just to finish games.
Is there some celebration among Tar Heels fans that, hey, we're not having the best year, but look what's going on in Durham? I mean, that's got to be part of it right now, right?
I think on the landscape, everyone's just like, man, the ACC is kind of tough this year in terms of everyone's doing bad as a whole. So there's nobody that you're like, listen, it's FSU and everybody else because FSU just lost one to Notre Dame. So everyone is just trying to win one when they can. And it doesn't hurt that the team down the street is, batting 500. But, at the end of the day, you beat them twice. You beat them at Cameron. You beat them at home. It's a great way to end for your seniors.
How do you like the way this bracket fell for North Carolina? They can't take any game for granted, but they're away from Virginia, pesky Georgia Tech, pesky Syracuse. They're on the other side, so if they face them, it's in the tournament finals. Do you kind of like the way this shapes up?
Oh, absolutely. You have Virginia Tech who's coming off a long kind of COVID situation, right? Mm-hmm. And so they're not going to have fresh legs. We saw that with Louisville, who we just got lucky with, if we can be honest, right? So I think Carolina is in its own way. Carolina all season, though, has been a team that they beat themselves. So it's not really been about the other team. It's about, can Carolina put it together? And when they do, they're great. When they're not, they're awful. So we really will just see.
How has Roy Williams been this year? I mean, he has, more than a lot of other coaches of his caliber had to deal with, not having five-star kids on the floor every time and still squeezing as much success as possible out of it. So where is he right now, do you think?
I think Roy it speaks to who he is as a person, who he is the coach. I think oftentimes we talk about hoops all the time, right? But there's still so much going on. So I think he keeps it well in perspective. Today, he just announced that he donated $3 million in scholarships for students. So it just really is a testament to who he is as a coach and more importantly, as a man. And I think that carries into his guys. I know he loves his players, but I also know that he doesn't like to give excuses. So the whole freshman only concept, he's like, please move away from that. Please stop writing that narrative, right? We can't keep coddling young men who ultimately are trying to win us championships.
For somebody that tunes into the ACC tournament this week and say they're watching North Carolina for the very first time this year, who is kind of the player they're going to identify and go, oh, that guy's kind of a potential star? I mean, is it Caleb Love, Day'Ron Sharp, the freshman? Who do you think is going to shine or could shine in Greensboro?
Absolutely. The sleeper is going to be Walker Kessler because if he gets off the bench, it's going to be a fun time. We saw him have a couple breakout games this year, but Dayron as well. If Caleb can really learn how to have his great assist play as well as shooting beyond the perimeter was going to be great. Kerwin Walton can't miss the fro. It's going to be excellent. But I think Armando Bacot, he's played some really good grown man basketball. So there's a lot of love to go around, and they're going to need every single person stepping up.
Where is this team? I haven't looked at the bracketology for this team. Like, where are they potentially now in the tournament, NCAA tournament, and what could they get to with a good run in Greensboro?
Right. So they're currently at about number 9, number 10 seed. And so, of course, they're going to have to play a high seeded team who's probably had a Big 10, Big 12 kind of action. They've been playing well all year. So I think Carolina is in a good spot. So they're not having to worry so much about that. I think it's more so, show something, right? Show a little bit of rhythm, show some streak action, show that you can put one in front of the other and keep winning consistently in order to show that you could potentially do that in the NCAA tournament.